Back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, bringing on a day trading analysis on Bitcoin and on Chainlink. Bitcoin is continuing the journey to the downside. First volume candle is almost recovered. We have some of it left. We have one down at 25.3. Break that. We're going down to 22.5k, where we have the next volume candles residing. Let's look at the chart. So as you know, we have the market make structure double formation, first leg down, first leg up. We still have a bit of it left here at 28.7k approximately. So another spike to the upside could be expected to grab this whole volume candle. We have some open orders left in this area that hasn't been filled, and the market maker always fills them. So I could see another high up here, down up to 28.7k. before we continue our journey to the downside. And if we look at the smart money chart, we see that smart money is buying currently, which means that price is dropping, because smart money are smarter than the retail investor. They buy when it's cheap and sell when it's expensive. So they need price to drop before they can start to buy. And that's how they manipulate the markets. So currently we're seeing almost at the midpoint here at 0.45. Usually we can look at the financial crisis here in 2009. When we were at the bottom, that's when they started loading up. So as it goes higher, that means that the smart money is selling off, and vice versa. You can see ahead of the financial crisis, it was at the highest point, which means that they were selling a huge amount of stocks. That's why it was at 0.86, and the market crashed after that, of course. So currently we're not in crisis mode, but we could be, because we've been at the higher 70 zone for a while. And as you see, we've seen the first sell-off. They start buying at these lows here in, I think it was, yeah, right here. They started buying and then price reversed to the upside. So keep this in mind when it's around 75 or 80. That's when you need to buy as well, not financial advice. Looking at the news events for this week, we saw yesterday that CPI numbers came in a bit higher than expected. 3.7% instead of the expected 3.6%. And CPI monthly was at 0.4%. They expect 0.3%. So almost according to forecast, but a bit higher. And the unemployment claims a bit lower. So yeah, we're still going sideways in terms of macro environment. And that's a bit of a concern, because on November 1st we will have the FOMC meeting. And that's going to be a huge one if they decide to increase the interest rates one more time, or if they pause. So we'll see what happens on November 1st. Looking at the liquidation map, we can see, wow, a big spike up here at 27.5k approximately, all the way up to 28k. And as you know, I showed you in the chart, we have still this little liquidity zone right here around 28.7k. So that coincides with the high liquidity zone. So someone has loaded up orders, and yeah, the market maker could grab that during the next markup phase to the liquidity zone. So that could be where we finish off the week at 28k or 27.7k. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm seeing, and the chart is showing me, and also the liquidation map. Now let's take a look. Yeah, Chainlink is looking promising as always. As you can see, we've been in a range from $6 up to $8.5 for over a year, almost 1.5 years since we went into the zone. We've been a couple of times below it, a couple of spikes above and below. But we've been in this range. So I've been telling you guys for a while, $6 is where you could go long. You could, if you want to, and sell it at $8.5 and then go short at that point. And currently we were at the $8.257 zone, and we still have a liquidity candle up here, or a volume candle that hasn't been filled at $8.5 approximately. And if Bitcoin decides to go to 28k, we could see another Chainlink spike up to the upside, and that is where you could load up on some shorts if you aren't in any already. But besides that, we have this liquidity zone at $7, break that. Next one is the 6.2, which is the close one to $6. That's where you could take some profits. Not financial advice, you do what you want to do. But $6 is where we load up on longs and sell off our shorts if we follow this pattern. So something to consider is also that we have some volume candles below at 5.5 and also at $5. So keep that in consideration. I usually tend to place one order, long order right here at $6. I have one at 5.5 and the last one at $5. So if the first one gets filled, alright, and it decides to go to the upside, well, no worries, I'm still in a profit, and I sell it off at around $8, and then I sell off at 8.5, and if we see a spike, I sell off at 9 or something. And I start building my shorts in the meantime. So first order is at $8.5, somewhere there. You don't need to be greedy. And then you set your next at 8.7 and then $9 or something. That's something you could do. Not financial advice, but that's something I'm looking at least. So let's see what happens. We could see another spike to the upside before we go down. But $6 is the next target to the downside for Chainlink. Have a good weekend. Big Boss out.